Alright, so I figured I'd do an update. Unfortunately, the weather has not been very cooperative today for doing any types of videos. Got up this morning, got out, started working on this stuff at about probably 7:15, mostly because it started pouring down rain at 8. Actually, it started pouring down rain at about 8:15. And we worked in the rain for about an hour before it finally got too muddy. But we got our wire repaired using some waterproof connectors. So that is done. That goes to the septic line, tested it out and everything. This part right here is going to stay open. There's going to be a clean out there. I'll explain everything that we did here in a little bit. We got our two inlets that we'll eventually put in. What we ended up doing was we ended up running two drain tiles side by side. One right here is a solid drain tile that is going to drain the sump pump and these two gutters right here. And then the other one is all perforated. It's either been sleeved or it's been, we got two 10-foot sections of this French drain kind of packing peanut type deal. And that will actually kind of go out through the yard like that if we have some time. If not, we'll put an end right there, buried underground, and we'll come back at a future date and run that out through there. We have already filled a lot of this in because the trenches were filling up with water and we didn't want everything to be full of water. We already had that problem quite a bit, so but we did put some pea gravel down in the bottom. Perforated line runs all the way to the driveway over here. And I'm sorry, this is kind of fast explanation, but we're working again based on the storms that are coming, so I'm doing a really quick explanation so we can get this done tonight. And so you can see we put the pea gravel in. It's not perfect. You can see the two sump line, or the two drain tiles. The one on your left is the one covered in a sock, and then we already covered up the driveway so we can get in and out. Got some compaction work to do there. And then we worked on going down. This is a pipe that I took out this morning when I was trying to in a hurry. I knocked the top of an old sump pump culvert off. So yeah, we are down to all the way down to the pond. Sorry about the wind. Like I said, I'm gonna apologize if this video is kind of jumbled. But working on all this. So we're down to the pond, or almost to the pond. The only problem is I think we got a little too much fall in part of the line, and some of our calculations weren't quite right. So this is where we're at. We went ahead and covered this up because we didn't want we didn't want this filling with water when it rained the next time. Our other project that we did in between rain showers, because all of this pit right here filled up with water, and we actually had to get a pump out and pump it out and drain it. And then this is the other project we did. Well, we didn't want to play in the water. Just let it pump out and everything. We went ahead and buried 200 feet or 180 feet of 2-inch conduit from the power pole. We stopped just short. We'll let the electrician do that. But the 2-inch conduit is in the ground, and so the 2-inch conduit runs all the way to the shop, and this will be our new power line. Most likely what we're going to do is we're going to run a 200 amp panel into the shop, and then we'll use variable frequency drives to drive anything that's 3-phase. At least that's the plan. So that's where we're at on these projects. Sorry there's not more video. Hopefully there's some time. We've got the excavator for another 2 days. So hopefully there's some time to get some video of working with it, but so far we've just been really in a hurry in between rain showers. So thanks for watching, and I'll probably tack on another update after this. All right, so we keep making progress on the drain lines here. We're just gonna hold off until next year to do this tile line headed out into the yard. Just don't have the time. Today is Saturday, July, what is it, 6th. And the excavator is due back on Monday morning, July 8th. So not gonna have enough time to get that done properly with the amount of daylight. It's late in the afternoon on the 6th. So we're just gonna punt on that until next year. That'll be something else we add. We do have the sump pump in the pit here, and I'll eventually straighten all this out and get it squared away. We did test the line last night. We put 250 gallons of water in a tank and flushed it down there, and it takes 3 minutes and 40 seconds from the time the water enters up here all the way down to the pond. What I'm going to do here in a minute, we're going to use the X748. We're going to scrape all this dirt up and push it back in the hole. What we spent, I guess we were outside till about 1 o'clock in the morning last night. We were taking the hose and basically compacting all of this. Something I had never done before. A friend showed me how to do it that was helping. And basically you take a hose and let it sit there, and basically it settles all the dirt. So that's why the trench is so well defined. Only thing, we got to clean all that mess up because there's probably a good 6-8 inches of dirt. Most of that mess was made when the rains came. So here is the other drain. I already got all this picked up. I'll let it dry out for a couple days, and I'll bring the 60 HD broom and the X748 in here, and I'll clean up some of this stuff and get all that. Driveway seems to be holding up pretty good. It's probably going to need quite a bit of work eventually, where we put the trench across it, but it does seem to be packed in pretty good. We'll walk down here to the pond, show you what I've got going on down there. This is nice. This original swale is starting to dry out, so I can put some nice dirt in it and grass it and everything. We're just going to leave this trench piled up like that, let it settle. I'm not in too big of a hurry to do anything with that trench at the moment. Just not anything I'm in a hurry to do. I've got plenty of other stuff to do. I probably will cut, I do need to cut a swale, so when it comes out of the house around here, it flows into this swale right here, but that's minor detail that I can work on. Other than that, this pit or this trench is fine. But we'll walk down here and I'll show you what the mess is down here. But I'm overall really happy with the project. I think it's turning out really nice, really well worth the effort to do all this. So I've cleaned up down here some at the pond. We cleaned up some last night, and I cleaned up some more this afternoon. But basically what we've got is we've got our pipes coming out here, and then kind of just gently goes down to the pond. And then later this week or next week, I'll pick up some underlayment. Really hard to work with any of this stuff right now because it's so muddy. But I'll pick up some underlayment, and I'll get a truckload of 3-inch plus gravel, and put in here, and that'll be kind of just the rocks to the pond, and that should be okay. Now the big thing is the pond already has a bunch of rocks in it. You can see all the rocks in the thing there. So what we're going to do, or what I've decided to do, is we're actually going to kind of level this bank out a little bit. So I just kind of, it's not anywhere near any type of being done, but what we're going to do is that'll just be level right there, so it'll be a little bit taller on that side than it is on this side. And then we'll eventually come in there. I've just got the dirt spread out to dry. And we'll come in there and just level it out with some other dirt, probably the dirt we got out of the driveway, because it will grow grass if needed. And then over here, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this mess over here. We have all of these large rocks that I'm not really sure what to do with. So yeah, that's we're definitely gonna have to work on that.
Hey, y'all watch this.
Oof.
Should have put your parking brake on. That's my fault.
Oh, it's not.
Keep your road rail down.
That work?
Right up the Lay down. Lay down.
Well, we're getting our first rain shower since we did all this work, and we're still kind of piecing everything together here. Got the sump pump going in one of the drains, and got right now I've just got a black pipe going in there. I got to get another gutter pipe, but seems to be working pretty good. We'll walk down to the end here in just a minute. I don't know how much rain we've got. We can go look before we walk down there. I had one of these pipes. Actually, I had two of them, but I'm using the other one for something else. I gotta move that back just a little bit. There we go. That way it's not pouring out, but yeah, it seems to work pretty good. Got a leak somewhere in my downspout because I see some water coming out from underneath that. Let's go see how much rain we've gotten, or we have received, and then we'll walk down to see if it's coming out. Let's see here. We've got, oh nice, we got a little over an inch of rain already, so that should mean that hopefully both of them are flowing. Driveway is nice and soft. One of the big problems that I still haven't remedied is the fact that this trench is blocking this waterway right here going off the driveway. Got to be really careful. Our electrical trench still has is still open right there, so it's probably 4 feet of water right there. But let me walk down to the here to the pipes, and then I'll turn the camera back on. So one of the things that we have to work on, as you can see here when we get down to the end of this kind of swale, hopefully you can see this in the video, swale comes down, and then once we get down here, it actually goes out into the front yard instead of coming out and into the pond. So this actually gives me a really good idea of where I need to work on this, and really cutting a swale right in here in this general area to get to this little bit bigger swale that we cut. But here, we'll walk out here to the pipes and see if water's coming out. So water is coming out both pipes, so that means that both our French drain, or our tile line, as well as our line for the sump pump and gutters is working. So that's kind of nice to see. On your left-hand side, that would be the line for the gutters, and on your right-hand side is the tile line for the house that has a French drain on it. So both very, very encouraging to see. Shows that they're both working, they're both draining water. That's just what we want. We have to remember that the tile line, the perforated line, stops before the driveway, so all of that water is coming from the house side of the driveway, which is really, really nice to see. still flowing in. So it gives me a lot of confidence that we did the right thing. We're going to put some more tile line in next year, and then I'll get all this worked in. Hopefully it'll dry out so I can spread all that mud out. Once that mud dries out, we'll get it all spread out over to the kind of work in that area, make it all level and everything. Then bring in some topsoil and put topsoil over the top of it, and grow some grass there so it'll look halfway decent. And then we'll get this all covered in, but both lines are working, so that's encouraging to see. So I think that wraps up this project for right now. I'll come back and give you an update as the summer progresses. We start planting grass and everything over the top of the trenches and whatnot. So thanks for watching.